The price of Bitcoin has had a great week. $27,318 is the current price of Bitcoin. I need a haircut. It's coming soon. But in today's video, of course, I need to discuss the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to show you my current open trades, of which there are many right now. And of course, we're going to be looking at how Bitcoin's price is likely going to perform come Monday morning when the market's open. Because currently, at this moment in time, there is a CME gap open on the price of Bitcoin. So all that's to discuss today. Do drop a like on today's video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And without further ado, let's crack on. So first things first, this is the current price of Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. And you can see back to the bottom of the VWAP, touching the bottom of the VWAP is also now resulting in bounces back to the upside. Now that's a pretty good sign. It shows that we have some bullish momentum in the markets at this moment in time. However, it's important to point out we have a CME gap open on the price of Bitcoin right now. And that CME gap is approximately at $27,000 in this range right here. So it's quite likely over the course of the next 24 hours, Bitcoin's price comes down and again starts toying with the outside of this level of resistance. Now I want to point out this purple line that you see here is not one that I've drawn recently. It's a line that I drew quite a long period of time ago. And if we go over to the 4-hour chart and zoom out, essentially what this purple line is it is a level of resistance that has now turned into a level of support. So hopefully on Monday morning, should this level of support hold, we can probably expect Bitcoin's price to continue rallying to the upside. And let me give you an example as to why we can expect that. If we look at the current weekly candle on the price of Bitcoin and we look at how it's performing, essentially we have here a head and shoulders bottom pattern of sorts. It's not like a perfect inverse head and shoulders bottom pattern, but you can kind of see here shoulder one, head, shoulder two, bounce to the upside. Now on the price of Bitcoin at this moment in time, my personal target for Bitcoin is up here at about $29,000. At $29,000, I would expect Bitcoin's price to get rejected, but let me show you why. Essentially, look at this big candle that we've had to the upside over the course of the past week. Now look at these candles coming out of the previous bear market. There's a lot of big ones, and if we're to measure the size of this past week's candle, from bottom to top, from here to here, we can see that the price of Bitcoin over the course of the past week rose by 23%. Now, if we go over and measure when we're coming out of the previous bear market, the size of some of these candles, proportionally, they are pretty much exactly the same. Now, from my perspective at this moment in time, there you go, 20% candle is this little one. I know it looks like less, but actually it's pretty much the same size as this bigger candle all the way over here, because the distance between $20,000 and $27,000 is likely the same distance as it is between, say, $10,000 and $12,000. Both are a 20% pump. It's just one's a $2,000 pump and the other one's a $7,000 pump. Proportionally, they are the exact same percentage. So what my point here is, I believe that this is the same as this, and we are probably at this stage in the market right now, whereby we're coming out of that bearish trend. We're going to get slapped down again, but I don't think we get slapped down just yet. I actually think that Bitcoin makes it all the way up to this kind of nearly $30,000 level, and to be honest, we break through $30,000 with some degree of kind of conviction. We go all the way back up to these levels here, and that's as high as what Bitcoin's price will likely go in 2023. The $42,000 level is my personal prediction for where I expect Bitcoin's price will peak throughout the year of 2023. Now, let me explain why. I think that next week we're likely to see another banking failure. If we see another banking failure, you know what happens to the value of the US dollar? It goes down. And this is the chart for the US dollar right now. Looking at the value of the US dollar over the course of the past week, it has been heading to the downside, but this is the daily chart. Let's look at it on the hourly chart so you can kind of see this downwards momentum that's been happening over the course of the past week. Lots of selling off on the value of the US dollar. Now, as you can see right now, over the course of this weekend, we are currently sat on this level of support, but I've been telling you all for ages, the dollar is going to keep dropping. This is not the start of the crash. No, this is not the end of the crash. This is the start of the crash. That's what I meant to say. Banking collapses are going to get more and more frequent. We're seeing some of the dominoes fall. And just like when Luna crashed, and that caused the crash of Celsius, Luna crashed, that caused the crash. Oh, no, it was a crash of Celsius. Celsius crash caused the FTX crash. FTX crash caused the domino of basically then the BlockFi crash, and all of these crashes all came one after the other. Silicon Valley Bank has crashed, but it's been bailed out. At the same time, that caused the failure of Credit Suisse that got bailed out. That also caused the failure of Silvergate that did not get bailed out, but it is possibly going through a buyout process. all of these banks are dominoes on other banks because everybody's lending money to each other. At the same time, there is $625 billion worth of debt that has built up in the banking system over the course of the past 2 years. Who is going to absorb that debt? It's going to be you, the consumer that has money. And how do they absorb that debt? They absorb that debt by printing more cash. What happens when people print more cash? The value of risk on assets goes up because the value of cash declines. It's not that the actual value of the asset is increasing. It's not. Bitcoin's value is not increasing. The value of your cash in the bank is decreasing. And that is causing, on paper, a rise in the value of Bitcoin, which on paper makes Bitcoin holders look richer. In actual fact, Bitcoin holders are just keeping up with the real kind of value of what inflation is. And inflation is going to get worse before it gets better. Another round of money printing is not good for the economy. It's bad, but it's good for our industry. It's like this weird situation where in this industry, we're incentivized to want the economies to fall because it will benefit our version of the economy. And that's ultimately because I believe that the main economy, the one that everybody trusts in, is fundamentally flawed by the way that it's run. It's a centralized entity. It's run by morons that are just children of other morons that are children of other morons. We've got all this institutional wealth. Like, look at Parliament in the UK. There are more millionaires in Parliament proportionally than what there are in society by quite a long way. Our Prime Minister is a billionaire in England. He's not exactly understanding of real people's issues. He understands bankers' issues. He understands corporate issues. My point is, stuff like Bitcoin is going to do incredibly well over the course of the next year. I believe that $42,000 is going to happen in 2023. I believe that even when the price was down at $16,000, and I was saying the exact same thing. I'll keep on saying the exact same thing. At some point this year, we'll see it up at $42,000. That's not to say we don't get rejected at $29,000. If I was just to kind of hazard a guess of what happens next week, I would say we probably start out the week pretty good, going up to 29K, and then we probably end it pretty bad by maybe going down to like 26K or something like that. I think there'll probably be another week of consolidation in this range. Either way, I think that this looks pretty bullish from here. The other option will be we break to the upside and then we drop all the way back to the downside and make an even bigger version of the megaphone pattern. It really does depend on if Bitcoin is going to take the really worst path of most pain. But it's going to get interesting. And so on that note, what are my current open trades? I'm not ending the video just yet, guys. Do drop a like on it. We're just getting started today. Now, what are my current open trades looking like? Well, here is one of them that I opened earlier today. Now, I opened earlier today when Bitcoin's price crashed back down earlier at $27,100. I opened a long position. It's only a small long position, $100,000 long position, currently $700 in a prof. Who cares? At the same time, I've longed CTC, I've longed Elrond, I've longed Ethereum. And if we scroll through the list of my other trades, I've got a long on FitFi, a long on IoTex, a long on JST, a long on Lux, a long on Matic, a long on Near, a long on Spell, and a long on TWT. Now, of all those, again, there's some losses at the bottom side of this. I want to point out that this trade and this trade are long-term trades that have not been going in my favor. It just is what it is. However, I took profit now on my USDC trade. I closed that. That got a really nice profit. That was about a $17,000 profit overall. And also, I've recently taken profits on my Bitcoin and Ethereum long positions because they hit my targets. Like Ethereum hit $1,800, as I've been saying for months now. I had a huge Ethereum long position and I've now taken profits on it. Now today, the only reason why I've gone long again on the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is these two green trades here, the only reason why I've gone long again is because I think we'll probably see a little bit of a rally to the upside that again I'll take profit on. And these are just scalp trades. I want to point out with pretty much all of these altcoin trades, they're all scalp trades. And yes, it says 100x there, but if I hover my mouse over it, it's not actually 100x, it's actually 4.6x. And again, the same goes here, 5x, 0.88x. Don't get confused by the fact that I'm using cross leverage. I know people go, oh, you're always 100x this. No, I'm not. I'm using cross leverage. I just use cross leverage because I like to use cross leverage. And that's how it is. Anyway, yeah, so in terms of my current open trades, I am long, of course, on the markets right now. I think the markets look mostly positive. And if we start looking a bit negative on Monday, I'll close all of those positions. I'm not emotionally attached to them at all. I'm in this game to make money. And I think that the likelihood is another move to the upside on Monday would be the worst case scenario for the bears. And I think the Bitcoin is on a bit of a stop hunt right now. And I think it's going to $29,000. Now, if I'm correct about that, what I would expect from there is Bitcoin goes from $29,000 $39,000 down to $26,000. And during that period of time, when Bitcoin's price crashes down to $26,000, we see altcoins rally, because look at this next chart that I've got to show you today. This is the Ethereum chart. Now, Ethereum has not broken out. If we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has broken out. Bitcoin has broken through this level of resistance here. But Ethereum has not broken out. Ethereum on the daily chart is still within its downtrend. Now, Ethereum is going to run at some point, and when it runs, it's going to run big, because there is big gaps in the liquidity in Ethereum. Now, let me show you those big gaps. After this range here, there is nothing, just like no resistance. I expect when Ethereum breaks this level of resistance and closes a daily candle above this level of resistance, because it didn't do today, and that's why I took profits on my trades. I took profits as soon as we spiked above it to $1,833 up here. I took profits on my Ethereum trade because it's a weekend. The likelihood of a breakout on a weekend is pretty low, but as you can see here, megaphone pattern, big stalk to the upside. This looks amazing right now, and there isn't that much resistance, which is meaning that on Monday morning, it's quite likely that actually Bitcoin slows down a little bit. Ethereum and the altcoin market speed up a little bit, and we expect big moves in the altcoin market, because look at this right now. This is the DXY. I'm looking for the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. We've already covered the DXY. Like, that's the DXY. It looks horrific. But on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart right now, this is what is attracting me. This to me is looking better and better and better all the time. A consistent downtrend that we're seeing with Ethereum versus Bitcoin. But at some point soon, that's going to change, and you're going to see a switch towards the altcoin market. At the same time, we're on this level of support, but we've not lost this level of support. We've not lost this range yet. So from my perspective, loading up Ethereum longs right now, especially on the Bitcoin pair, is potentially a really good idea. And so that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm stacking Ethereum. I'm kind of more exiting the side of my Bitcoin trades. I don't want to be holding as much Bitcoin as what I do Ethereum, because I think that Ethereum is going to make some gains against Bitcoin. So then when I can take profit on those trades, I'll take them profit, and then I'll buy Bitcoin back, and I'll have more Bitcoin than when I started, essentially. So from my perspective right now, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is looking good. I think the play over the next week is going to be the altcoin play. I think that Bitcoin is going to slow down and cool off just a little bit, and it'll give Bitcoin dominance a bit of a rest, because the Bitcoin dominance right now is going a bit crazy. And it generally, when it goes crazy, like you can see, it goes up in a straight line for a bit, and then it'll drop. It's on that drop there that you make money on the altcoins, and that drop there is way more profitable than this rise here. When's that drop going to kick in? It's going to kick in fairly soon. If we actually zoom out on this chart, like, Bitcoin dominance is up very significantly, but look how fast it came down recently. It came down pretty fast every time it's rallied up to this level. However, it can still go a little bit more. So even if it goes a little bit more, it's not bad news. Ethereum's dollar value will increase. It will just lose against Bitcoin. And that's fine. As long as you're making money, who cares whether it's in Bitcoin or whether it's in US dollars? Nobody cares. As long as a profit's a profit. No one's complaining about that. So yeah, on my thoughts on these things, I believe that essentially Ethereum is probably a slightly better play than Bitcoin right now. And that's kind of how I'm positioning myself after this weekend's trades have played out, and after I've taken profit on this Bitcoin position right here. I'll take a lot of those profits and put them into the Ethereum trade down here, which is again only $415 in profit right now. Overall though, trading going just amazingly so far this past couple of weeks. And overall, the market's looking very healthy. Like, if we look at Crypto Saving Expert right here and look at the recent price action, you can see Bitcoin over the past week up 33%. Ethereum down 10% versus Bitcoin. And that's what's attractive about it. And then if you look at all these other things like XRP, only up 4%. Whereas Bitcoin's up 33%, ADA up 12%, and Polygon up 16%, Dogecoin up 14%, Solana up 23%. This is going to flip at some point. All of these coins here that are not up as much as, like, wrapped Bitcoin, of course, the wrapped Bitcoin's up. But if we go over to the next page here, you can see just the general trend is that altcoins are underperforming versus Bitcoin at this moment in time. And I think that trend is gonna change soon. So of course, if you want to learn more about trading, click on the trading tutorial that's in today's video description and possibly on the screen right now above my head or wherever it is. But what I would recommend that you do right now is go to Crypto Saving Expert, learn about cryptocurrency, sign up, make an account. We've reached over 5,000 users now on Crypto Saving Expert, which is fantastic. And it also is completely free. Like, you can go on the website, you can take courses and whatnot. It's all completely free. I'm the founder of it, hence why I'm going to tell you about it. But essentially, all of this stuff is free. You click on like Crypto 101, for example. There's all these different courses that you can take to learn about things. And this is one of the best courses. It's like how to spot altcoin gems. Such a useful course for people that want to know kind of how my brain operates. And I don't want your money to take it because I'm not some altcoin course, not altcoin course, just course scammer. Anybody that sells courses, they do it so they then get money to then trade with and then show you. I just don't like that business model. Very predatory. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. I'm going to be back tomorrow on YouTube with videos all over the shop. The next week, I'm going to pepper the internet with content. Subscribe, like this video, comment your thoughts down below. I'll reply to as many of you as possible, and welcome me back to the channel. Also, look at this. Look at this hair. Oh, no, I can't even zoom in, but look at my hair now. Really need a haircut. That's going to be fixed tomorrow. So prepare yourself for Bald Martini Guy. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.